Hi beauties, welcome back or welcome if it's your first time here. Happy to have you. Let's talk my stash. Talk about what I've used, update it, that type of thing. It's probably been at least 3 weeks, if not a month, that I've been using the stuff here in my little caboodle. So let's go through this, just kind of do a quick roundup of things, if you will, and add some new things. I think what I'm going to do this go round is honestly probably just grab things that I want to use. I know I've mentioned that before. I think the last 2 rotations I've just sort of randomized what has been in my stash with that app, but I might do that for a couple things. I'm not so bent on picking specific like blushes and bronzers and stuff, so I might do it for those things. But as far as like palettes and foundations and lips and all that, there are certain things that I want to use. So anyway, we will get to that later. But okay, I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as I can. It's not gonna be, these aren't gonna be like in-depth reviews. This is not a review channel, but the 2 primers I've been using, Wet n Wild Dewy, and then this CoverGirl Illuminating. I love both of these. I really do. I am a huge fan of a dewy, radiant, luminous base. These both like tick every box I want. They're radiant, they're lightweight, they're non-greasy, they look good on their own. I mean, these are both primers that I would honestly just wear over my SPF, like with no other makeup. I really do think they look that good. So really have enjoyed those. My Glow Mist setting spray, L'Oreal, or whatever this is called, Shake and Glow Dew Mist. Enjoy this. I've made a pretty good dent in it so far. I don't know if you could see that, but again, it's just a dewy setting spray. I don't think it's not too much. I don't think that I end up looking like too wet or greasy as the day goes on. I really enjoyed that. Foundations. I've been using my L'Oreal True Match Lumi, which you know I love. I'm trying to see, I can't really tell how much is left in here. I've been trying to keep an eye on that, but I have to be almost finished with this, I would imagine. But I really, really like this. I love the coverage of this. I love the finish. It's affordable. It doesn't look like too much on my skin. It wears well throughout the day. This is honestly just one of my favorites. I've used both of these. I have 2 different colors of the Revlon Candid Glow. I have 340 and 350. I usually mix these to get the shade I want. I can wear 350 on its own. It's a little bit lighter. But I do like to mix it a little bit just for a little bit extra color. I cannot wear did I say 340? I can wear 350. Did I say 350? Whatever. I can wear 350 on its own. 340 is just a little bit too dark for me to wear on its own, so I do like to mix them. But again, I love just about everything about this foundation. I love the way I love the coverage. I love the way it sits on my skin. It just doesn't look like too much. It's glowy, but it's not too glowy. I don't have oily skin though. I would say fairly normal skin. So, you know, I don't know if you're a person who has oily skin, maybe these luminous, glowy foundations aren't the best thing for you, but I love how they look on my skin type. Concealers, you know, this Neutrogena concealer has been in rotation for quite some time. You know I love this, the Radiant Cream Concealer, and then my Maybelline Fit Me, I have the shade Light. Again, I love both of these. Neither one is super full coverage. They sheer out really nice. They are, especially the Neutrogena one. I mean, this is so like radiant, obviously, under my eyes. I love the way it looks. Oh, and I forgot I still had my collab color corrector in there too. My peach color corrector, which is honestly gonna stay. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's the only color correcting concealer I have at the moment. So that is staying in. Let's go through my lips. Since my last stash update, I did a huge lip declutter. And I have decided that this is my Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade Madison. This is going to go in there as well. It's really pretty. I mean, it honestly is. It's a beautiful color. It's like this magenta fuchsia type color. I love the color. Well, first of all, this is old. I mean, this is probably 4 or 5 years old. It's time to let it go. And I am just not the biggest fan of liquid lipsticks. I'm just not. So my Fenty Mademoiselle lipstick in Thick, I love this. Love this lipstick. I love the shade. I love the formula. In fact, I love this so much. I think I'm going to buy a couple more. They're on sale right now on the Fenty's website. On Fenty's website for, I think, like $9 or something. So I think I'm going to pick up a couple more. And then this is my Rimmel lipstick in Nude in the City, which I really love. So I had a couple nudes in there, and then that fun liquid lipstick. I'm going to keep this. I like this. Just a pretty nude color. So a blush, my Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand in Pink Gasm. Really liked this, but I'm putting it back. And then my Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand. This is a highlighter. This is the medium shade. I loved both of these. Love them. They were super easy to work with, to blend. They didn't mess up my foundation, my bronzer. They just sat really nice on the skin, and they just make your skin look, they just have such a nice glow to them. It's not too much. It's just really pretty. Palettes. My Kaleidos Futurism Sci-Fi Green. I only used this, I think, twice in the last couple weeks. But I do really like this palette. I don't think I've ever used the black shadow in here. I don't reach for black shadows. I don't. But that black is really nice. It's super pigmented. But I knew I liked that palette. My thoughts didn't change. I used this several times. My Natasha Denona Mini Zendo. If you've watched me get ready with this, you know how I feel about this. I love it. This is my first and only Natasha Denona eyeshadow, and I am a fan. I kind of want more. I used this a couple times. My LA Girl Keep It Playful. This is the Foreplay 9-pan eyeshadow. Super warm tones. Loved the looks I got out of this. Very affordable. And then my Midas Smoky Glow. Used this a few times. I did film with this palette as well. This is what she looks like. This is honestly, I know I mentioned this in the video. This is one of the best influencer collabs that I think has come out in a long time. And I really don't feel like enough people have gotten their hands on this or like rave about this, but this was so worth it. I love this palette. That's it for eyeshadow palettes. Face palettes, you also know I've been using this like crazy, my Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette in Daria. This is one of those things that I really did not expect to love as much as I do. I mean, I knew it was going to be good. I had heard, or I had watched people use it. I know Natasha Denona to just make quality products, so I knew that it was going to be good, but I really did not expect to be as in love with that as I am. I'm tempted to keep it in rotation because I just love it that much, but I'm going to put it back. Okay, so something that I didn't love as much, and I know I've touched base on this briefly as well, is this e.l.f. Glow and Gleam highlight palette. Again, I really like these two shades are the only two that I've been dipping into, and I just don't know that keeping, there's those two shades right there. I don't know how well you can see them, but I just don't know that keeping this palette for those shades is worth it. Like these bottom shades with like the little pattern on them, I don't know. There's a few more shades swatched right there. I don't know. I don't know how well those are going to pick up, but I love e.l.f. I've said this before, I do. I think e.l.f. makes some of the best, most affordable products in just about every category there is. This is not one of them. I wanted really bad to like this because I think this was like under $10 for 6 different shades. I wanted to like this, but it's just not their best. So I don't know. I'm probably going to see if my daughters want this. I'll give this to them to play with. I'll see if maybe my sister-in-law wants it or somebody, but I'm gonna get rid of that. Just wasn't my thing. Now this one I love. This is the Soph X Revolution highlight palette. It's beautiful. I used several shades in here. They're all just so soft and smooth, and I just really have enjoyed using that. I've actually enjoyed using these like in that Natasha Denona palette. There's a cream highlighter, and I'll put the cream highlighter on and then I'll put some of those over top, and it's just stunning. A few more things. My Nude Sticks blush in Salty Siren. I knew I loved this prior to putting it in my stash. My opinion did not change. That's the shade right there. Just a nice like sort of peachy pink nude color. Really easy to use, user friendly. My Ulta bronzer, love this. But I need to put it back. I need to use other stuff. My Milani blush, I actually did use this several times. This is the Awakening Rose shade. Very pretty. It's really old, but it still performs well. My Tower 28 bronzer in West Coast. Used that several times. I usually used that layered with that other bronzer. And then my CoverGirl highlighter. This is the Super Stunner Hyper Glow in, what do I have? Pearl Crush. This I only used a couple times, but it's pretty. It's very, very pretty. It's super soft. It's almost like a champagne-y color. I don't know how well you can see that, but I really did enjoy that as well. And I think that's it. I think that's it for everything that was in my stash for about the last month. Let me take you to go and pick some new products, and I'll do some swatches and stuff at the end just because swatches are fun to see. But let's go. Let's dig in. Okay, let's get into my first drawer here. So primers, foundations, concealers, powders, that type of stuff. I think I know what I want to use as far as foundation and primer here. Okay, let's continue. I swear my toddler has like a radar for when I'm filming. Moving on, this has been on my mind, my Fenty Hydrating Primer, so I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use, I want to use something kind of pore filling, so I'm going to use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I'm gonna pull those in. Foundations, I haven't thought about too much, but let's see. I did end up reaching for my you know what though? I feel like, was that in my rotation before this last one? I can't remember. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do my L'Oreal True Match, the original. This is, again, one of my absolute favorite drugstore foundations. I love that stuff. So let's do that. And, well, let's just do that. Let's do that for now. I don't know, I can't really tell how much I've used in that. It feels decently full, pretty full. So we'll just do that for now. I'm going to keep my number 7 loose powder in there. I'm almost done, but then I'm going to pull this one in as well. This is the Triple Action Finishing Powder and Light Lift and Illuminate powder, excuse me. It's a pressed powder, but I do kind of like using this under the eyes as well, so I'm going to pull that in. And I think that might be it for this drawer. I don't have like 2 brow products. Oh, concealer. Duh. Let's do, man. So I have 2 different shades of the e.l.f. This is the hydrating 16-hour camo. People love this stuff. It's not honestly my favorite. I have light sand and light peach. So let's do these. Let's pull those in and move along. So the next drawer is my blushes and bronzers, highlight, mascaras, eyeliners, and I think I actually might, let's skip this drawer, and I think I'm actually going to, I'll pick a couple of each with that Tiny Decision app. And I will show you what was chosen. Okay, palettes. So I have my palettes in a couple different places now. I have these that are in my stand here. And then I got this other little nightstand here, and I have palettes on this shelf. So what do I want to do? What do I want to play with? I know this palette has been on my mind. The LA Girl Pro Artistry eyeshadow palette. Let's take a look inside here, because this palette is honestly stunning. Oh, hey. Like, I've been wanting to use this, and I think that you could do a lot of really pretty, like, sort of holiday season looks with that palette. What else? So that is really affordable. Maybe I want to do something. This is one of my favorites too, the Corderosa. I used that the other day. I just love every look I get with that palette. I really do. The So Jaded, that's been on my mind too. This is another one that's just so beautiful. Maybe I'll pull this one in as well. I will. I'm gonna throw a few palettes in there. So we'll do the So Jaded, the LA Girl, and then let's do, oh, sorry. What else do I want to pull in here? The Whatever palette. These are really pretty for holiday time as well. Let's pull that in. Maybe one more. I've been really wanting to use the Pat McGrath palettes too. So this is the Bronze Seduction. Or do I want to use the Decadence? That one is super, super pretty for holidays too. Let's do that. We'll do that. Okay, I know that's 4 palettes, but that Flower Beauty one is really little. Okay, that doesn't really count. Oh, lips. Lips. What do I want to do? I know I'm going to incorporate some red lips for sure, but that's beautiful. I love that. It's like the shiniest red lip ever. Or do I want, man, I've really been loving using my Propa Beauty lipsticks too. They're just such like rich, beautiful, just luscious lipsticks. I mean, I actually think they're having a sale on their website right now. So if you have not tried Propa Beauty, I mean, I would highly recommend getting your hands on some of their lipsticks. But what do I want to use? I don't know. Let's just choose a couple at random. I honestly have no idea let's do Believe It and let's do Closer. Why not? We'll throw those in there. And what else? Let's do a red. You know what? Let's do this Matte Passion, because I know when I did this is Milani, their color statement lipsticks. I know when I did my declutter, I swatched this and I realized I had never ever used it. So, okay, let me get this stuff in my caboodle and I'll do some swatches for you real quick. Okay, let's swatch some stuff just for fun. I think I got some pretty good stuff. I mean, I picked out the palettes, picked out my lipsticks. Well, picked out pretty much everything but the blush, bronzer, and highlighter. So you saw what I picked as far as foundations, concealers. Let me swatch these lipsticks for you real quick. I picked out a couple of the Propa Beauty lipsticks. The first color here, oh my God, I can't wait to use these. This is the color Believe It. And what else did I pick? Closer. Oh my God, you guys, these are gonna be so much fun to use. Okay, so this first one is Believe It. Hopefully it picks up on camera. This one is definitely darker. This one is definitely more cool toned, but some really pretty browns. I'm so excited to use those. I love those lipsticks. And then this is the Milani Matte Passion I was telling you about. Just a really, really beautiful red. It's almost like a corally red, but love that. Love those for me. Bronzers. So happy I got this bronzer. My favorite bronzer of all time. My Fenty Cheeks Out Cream bronzer in Macchiato. Like, look at the size of the pan on that. I have a backup in my drawer, which I'll probably have to pull out. And then I got, this is new, my Wet n well, it's relatively new. I've had it for a few weeks, but the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Sunset Striptease. It is somewhat broken, which you can probably tell, but it works fine. It's still beautiful. Let's swatch these. I don't know if bronzer swatches are fun to see, but I really like both of these bronzers. So I'll probably end up layering these. So this one down here is my Fenty, and then that is the Wet n Wild. Super excited to play with those. And then blushes. So this one I'm not too excited about, but we'll see. I want to give it a try. This is the Physicians Formula Rosé All Day Petal Glow. And I got Shimmering Rose. Now I talked about this. This smells, I mean, this is so fragranced. So if you don't like that, you're definitely not gonna like this. This smells almost disgustingly like rose, like really, really fragranced, like rose perfume. I mean, it's a pretty enough blush. It's got the little rose detail in the pan, but this is it swatched right here. And it is most certainly shimmery. So I don't really think that I would use this on its own as a blush. I might use it as like a blush topper on this other blush I got, but this other blush I got is pretty like luminous on its own, so I don't really think it needs a blush topper. That actually might look really pretty just as a highlight if I went really light hand. We'll see. Anyway, I'm excited to play with it. And I got my Nabla Skin Glazing Blush in Truth. I'm so happy I got this. I have been wanting to play with these so much more, but look at that. Look at this blush. Ugh. Yeah, this definitely does not need a blush topper. I mean, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I want to try the Nabla bronzers so bad. Look at that blush. Oh, love it. Now I pulled these two out on my own. I cheated a little bit. I thought I had added these onto, into my wheel, but I guess I didn't. These again are new and I really, really want to get some use out of them. These are the new, I have all four of the Milani cream blushes, but I just wanted to pull a couple in. So I have lots of blush options, but I pulled in Blushing Berry. I've only used one of these. I've used the Merlot one, like the darkest one. Oh God, these are so pretty. Okay, so that's the berry one, and then I also pulled in the nude one, Nude Kiss. Yeah. So I did want kind of like a neutral blush option because all the blushes I have thus far are not neutral. So there is, the berry is on top and then there's the nude on bottom. I'm really, really excited to get more use out of these because I do think they're beautiful. And then highlighters, I got my Physicians Formula. This is a highlighting stick in Honeydew, which I have only used in one video before. So I, again, am very excited to use that. That's a cream formula. And then I got one of my favorites of all time, my ABH Amrezy. You know, you can't even tell. Like, look at this pan. I mean, maybe if you look at it this way, because it used to be a lot wavier, it does not look like I have used this hardly at all, and I have used so much of this. So much. Like, this is the only highlighter I used for so long after I got it. I love this highlighter. So this is the cream, the Honeydew, and then the ABH next to it. So I'm super excited about those. Super excited about my face products. Now shadows, I know I showed you the palettes. So again, this is the Pat McGrath Decadence. This is the all shimmer palette that she came out with. Okay, let's just swatch a couple of them. I'm not gonna swatch the whole palette, but these are just this palette is so beautiful, so beautiful. And look at these. Cannot wait to get some looks with these palettes. Pulled in my Flower Beauty Jungle Lights. Okay, so let's look. Those are the Pat McGrath. Okay, that's like the $129 palette. Let's watch some of these Flower Beauty foils. I'm telling you, swatched next to the Pat McGrath, they rival like the beauty of Pat McGrath. Look at these. Ugh. Look at those. That is drugstore. That is drugstore foiled eyeshadows. I can't recommend that palette enough. I really cannot. Like, if you have not tried those and you love that just super like wet foiled eyeshadow look, try those. Oh, that's such a good palette. And then I'm going to use this, my LA Girl Pro Artistry palette. This is her right there. Let's just swatch these greens because I do love these greens. Right there. Super pretty. Again, like, what a beautiful like drugstore option to have. And then my So Jaded Kathleen Lights ColourPop So Jaded. I haven't used this in a really long time, but I loved it when it first came out. So I'm excited to mess around with this more. Let's swatch a couple of shimmers here because shimmers are the most fun. We're gonna do that purple because that purple is beautiful. We're gonna do another green. I love this. Is it Peridot in this palette? Look at those. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I am so excited about using those palettes. Actually, all that stuff. That should be a lot of fun. But that's it. That's everything that I'm going to be using, trying to get some good use out of for the next however long. It usually ends up being about 3 or 4 weeks or so until I'm sort of getting tired of things. I feel like I've used things a decent amount, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy this kind of content, if you like Shop My Stashes, get ready with me. I've been doing a lot of just chatty / rambly get ready with me videos while we just do our makeup and talk. If you like that sort of stuff, if you like beauty content in general, stick around, consider giving me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and yeah, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other.